afternoon and Happy New Year. This is the knitting news from Knit Happens Teesside for Thursday, the 2nd of the 1st, 2020. At knitting, Katrina was working on a Stephen West shawl, which is one of her projects I don't think I've seen before. And it was brioche stitch that she was working on, which is a little bit complicated. And she did have to run off with Andy and get a little bit of help when she got a bit stuck. And it's in sort of turquoise and black. If you call this turquoise, or maybe more of the dark colour like that. Anyhow, that colour was also in the garment that she had crocheted that she was wearing, like a long line cardigan, and it was also in her notions case, which she also crocheted herself. So we're thinking that there's a theme there, and that might be her favourite colour, or one of. Maggie was working on a Kate Davies design. It's a cardigan that's kind of cream sleeves and back, I think, and then there's a coloured pattern on the fronts, and it's called The Colours of Shetland, I think. So she was casting on and doing a rib. Fee was working on a shawl that's very unusual. Can't off the top of my head think of the designer, but I will mention it next time, if she's doing it next time. But the designs are inspired by nature, and it's like wings, and the sections get longer and longer with ridges down them as they go around. Very nice. If I think of it by the end of the video, I'll just say it. Athene was working on her hat that she is remaking in something much nicer and softer. And there was a lot of talk about a new puppy. And it's a Labrador Husky, I think, which would be a Labsky. I've got a visitor. This is my little doggy, stroke sheep. Hey, Lottie. Go, Lottie. Hi. What are you doing? She's sniffing about because when the tea's on, she can get upstairs without the other dog following her. Because the other dog's glued to the kitchen. Which is Roxy, who you might meet one day. Anyhow, back to knitting. Andrea was making some socks with a subtle sort of grey-brown, lovely yarn with a little pop of red here and there, and a little cross stitch here and there, just to keep it interesting. And I think she said the toe or the heel or both were a Gode heel or toe. So I'll have to look that up. And she did get her red top done for Christmas. This is Dictamus tea. It kind of tastes like dried out hedge clippings, I think. Andy has found a new obsession, which is making pom-poms. She's made one that looks like a koala. I mean, it's supposed to look like a koala, but it did just look like one. So I'm not quite sure if she's going to go into koala pom-pom production or not. And she was actually making an Erica Knight top, kind of a basic boxy a boxy shape, but with stripes. And it is probably linen or linen cotton mix in subtle shades of sort of blues and greys and off-whites and things. It was very nice. Sarah she was joining hexagons in a bit of a rush, I think. She kind of wanted it to be an item, but she didn't really know what sort of item and what size blanket it was going to be and what its purpose was going to be. But it was beautiful. And I think it was going to be maybe a baby blanket, but she wasn't quite sure, I don't think. But she just wanted it done. And Jill wasn't there because she's fell over and hurt her hand and her eye, I think. And now her back's hurting too. So, get well soon, Jill. And you've done it all wrong. Because what you're supposed to do is hurt your feet or your foot and your leg. And then sit about knitting while you're off. You have to get it the right way around next time. More news? Maybe next week.